Okay, before Mahmoud coming about, make some, let me just chip in something. All right. I'm the presenter. I'm Muhammad Sagir Muhammad, an entrepreneur and humanitarian development worker. I'm the CEO of M Sagir Tech, which specializes on programming, IT services, branding and printing, and also importation. My personal mission towards is to accelerate African transition into a sustainable and developed economy by leveraging technology, innovation, and capital policy. Actually, I'm an electronics engineering technician. I'm also an undergraduate of computer science. I'm passionate about cryptocurrency education and driving the adoption of blockchain and crypto asset in Africa since 2015. Okay, actually, this is my slide from my former class of on my previous class. Okay, on my previous class I talk about blockchain, cryptocurrency, and also talk about Binance. So the class was sponsored by Binance, and at the end of that course, let me say, each participant uh, know what is Bitcoin, what is cryptocurrency, and then how blockchain works, and then also how to buy cryptocurrency with your fiat currency Naira. In this perspective, we are more bent to Nigerians. So, okay. Okay, what actually is money? When it comes to KZ, please. KZ francs. KZ franc. KZ franc. Okay, this is a message from the presenter Mahmoud. He say he is live. He will be here shortly. Okay.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay. Okay, sir. Let me shift. Let me make you the host, please now.
Okay.
Thank you for coming. All right, thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay.
Please, all user, please, you can mute your audios, please, so that the class will not be disturbed.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Mr. Kenzie, can you, MSN, please, can you attend to Kenzie? I think he can't dial in his speaker, his microphone. So can you help him?
Okay, let me do that. Okay, let me do that.
Okay. So let me mute all the participants. Okay. Good morning, guys. This is 11 a.m. here in Nigeria, West Africa. Okay, and I will be your host for the day. My name is Mahmoud Sardauna. Okay, I'm a friend to Muhammad Sagir, and we've decided to bring out this class at least as a help to those people that are looking for, how will I say, to elaborate and that want to know more about Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, and all these stuffs. Okay, so the class will be more like a presentation and then question and answer. Okay, so that we can get to know at least an introductory aspect of blockchain and trading. Okay, so after attending this class, at least some of the things that are ambiguous to you will be clear. And from there, you would decide, because I have a premium class where you can enroll, where we talk in-depthly about Bitcoin trading from beginner to professional. Okay, notwithstanding, I still have lot of materials that I can direct you to, that is either YouTube and so on and so forth, okay? But the major difference between those classes and mine is that here we interact one-on-one. Okay, so we interact one-on-one with you guys, and if there are any questions while presenting the class, you can just raise your hand and we can attend to it squarely. Okay, so I will be presenting the class using, okay, I'll be attending the class using Binance presentation, because my presentation was about trading. Okay, so this class, okay, this presentation was prepared by Binance. That is my community project, which I was a tutor but couldn't attend the program due to some personal reasons. Okay, so I'll be using the material for the presentation. Okay, so this is just an introduction of the tutor. My name is Mahmoud, graduate of engineering, electrical and electronics. Okay, so the first question that actually comes to mind before we, like, someone is,
Yes, can you share your audio and then stop the other users from sharing their video, please? And then you can do that, because I think it is making the class having some issues. I think the network problem. Let them stop their audio.
okay, so I think now is okay. Okay, so the first thing that comes to mind before we advance into in-depth is that we need to know the basics or the history of money, because before we can know exactly what Bitcoin or what cryptocurrencies are trying to solve in a real life situation. Okay, so according to this presentation, it says money is a tool of exchange of value. Okay, so anything you can give as a for a counter value object, it can be called a money. For example, if I go to grocery and I give them my old phone, and then, oh sorry, to a repair shop, I give them my old computer and they give me a new computer. This is actually that particular old computer that I present to them is actually money to them, because I use it to exchange value, because I gave it to them and then they gave me something in return. So anything that you can present to someone and that particular person will hold it as something of value, okay, it can be used as a money. That's why they say any object could be used as a money, because money is just a shared belief. It's just something that you think within yourself as a money, because at the early age, people are just using barter system. I have a cow, you need grains, okay? I will give you cow, you give me 10 sacks of grains, okay? Later on, we have cowries and things like that. Later on, we have metals. Later on, we have paper money. Later on, we have plastic IDs, whereby we use ATMs and rest, okay? So all these are just a belief, because during the era of cowries, if someone gives you metal, you'll not accept. And during the era of metals, if someone gives you a cowrie, you'll not accept it also, or shell, you'll not accept that. But later on, when we transfer to, or when we transform to paper money, when someone gives you cowries, you'll not accept also. Okay, so it's just a belief, and also for those people that are in, how will I say, a secluded area of the world, whereby there is no legal tender, okay, they used to adopt the barter system up till now, okay, so they are still way behind the civilization. But for people that are living in the 21st century, we believe that right now we have passed the era of trade by barter, we have passed the era of cowries, shells, metals, paper money to ATM cards, and now we are in the era of cryptocurrencies. Okay, so another important aspect that we need to talk about is the fiat money. Okay, these are some of the jargons and the terminologies that you will come across more often as you progress in your journey as a cryptocurrency trader. Okay, sorry. Wow. Sorry, I'm not sharing my screen. Sorry. Sorry. I thought I'm sharing my screen. Sorry. Okay. So this was the first slide. Okay, that is definition of money. So the second one is fiat money. What is the meaning of the word fiat? Okay. So they say it is paper money. So all this our dollar, our naira, pounds, euro, and the rest are all paper money. So they are legal tender that replace the gold and other commodities. Okay. So if you look at the history of money, during the time of gold and coins, gold make you susceptible, and also you are likely to be attacked, especially when you watch movies about Wild West. Mostly they are all about how will I say, brutalizing, killing, and collecting other people's money forcefully, and so on and so forth. Okay, so people are afraid of moving around with money, so they decided to keep their money with a goldsmith. Okay, so let's say, for example, I have 10 grams of gold with me. I will go to goldsmith A and say, okay, keep this particular gold for me. And then that particular goldsmith, he will issue a note. We call it IOU. Okay, so sorry, I'm trying to just, okay, he will issue IOU notes. So it's just a note that, okay, this particular person has 10 grams of gold. Let's say 10 grams of gold, 10 grams of gold, something like this, okay? So he will give you this particular paper, and then whenever you are in the market or whenever you want to buy something, you will have to just issue this particular paper or IOU paper or note, and then the trader will come back to the goldsmith A, and then he will cash this particular amount of gold that you have with that particular goldsmith, okay? So because of that, people saw how easy it was to transfer value instead of holding the real gold in their own pockets. Okay, so this particular IOU notes keep evolving and evolving and evolving till our present day central banks, that is the goldsmith, and then the IOU notes are the paper money that we are holding. Okay, so before 1978, each gram of gold is being represented by 1 USD. Okay, so any dollar that you see before 1978, if I can recall precisely, is being backed by 1 gram of gold. So for a dollar to be printed, they have to bring 1 gram of real gold before it can be, because before they can produce $1 of $1 note. Okay, but after 1978, the United States government seized all the gold, and then they started printing money, and up till today. And in fact, last year they printed around $2 trillion. Okay, because the money is being backed by nothing. But before 1978, each gram of gold is being represented. That is under the United States Treasury. Each $1 is being backed by 1 gram of gold. But after that particular year, it has been seized and money is being produced in just, how will I say, from the thin air. Okay, so one of the advantages of money is that it replaces gold, because gold is heavy and makes you susceptible. Then the second thing about fiat money is that it is portable and easy to use. Unlike cowries, coins, okay, and gold, they make noise, heavy, they make you susceptible for murder, crime, and so on and so forth. Okay, so fiat money are also, they are not scarce. That is, their supply is not limited. Their supply is not limited, meaning they can produce as many as they can. And in fact, even our country here, Nigeria, last year we printed around 2 trillion, if I'm not mistaken, also, or 1 trillion naira, if I'm not mistaken, which is around is it 200 $200 billion, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that, or $2 billion. Okay, so it also has, that is, the fiat money has no intrinsic value. Intrinsic value means internal value. That is like the driving force behind it. Because we say that before 1978, money is being backed by real gold, meaning there is no extreme production of money. But after that, money is being produced, it is just being backed by nothing. You'll just produce money, just go to your printing press, or should I say, go to your minting press, and then they will just print, and then they will just distribute it into the community. Okay, so because of the flows and also the lapses that we have in the traditional money, this led to the advancement of cryptocurrency. But before we talk about cryptocurrency, cryptocurrency has been in existence since around 1980s. Okay, but most of the cryptocurrencies could not see the light of the day because of one reason or the other. One of them is that some of the cryptocurrencies to federal law, they cannot be duplicated or destroyed. One of the most crucial thing about cryptocurrencies, and in fact about Bitcoin, is that, you know, any digital file, let's say for example you snapped a picture, you can send that particular picture to Mr. A, Mr. B, Mr. C, Mr. D, Mr. E, and so on and so forth. Okay, so think of cryptocurrency as a money, and think of the possibility that I can send that $10 to this particular guy, and still send the same $10 to this guy, and still send the same dollar to this guy, and this guy, and this guy, and this guy. So it makes that particular cryptocurrency, how will I say, valueless. Okay, so one of the issues, or one of the advantages, or should I say one of the use cases, or should I say problems that Bitcoin solved, is actually the issue of double spending. That is duplication of digital file. So Bitcoin is a digital file that can be sent once, meaning if you transfer the ownership from Mr. A to Mr. B, okay, so automatically you don't have any copy of that particular Bitcoin left with you, despite the fact that it's a digital file. But think of it as a picture that if you send it to someone, you can never get that particular picture again. The possession of that picture has been transferred to this particular guy here. So it's just that in the history, we can see that, okay, this coin or this Bitcoin has transferred from Mr. A, and now it is under the custody of Mr. B. You are Mr. A, and the third party is Mr. B. So in the history of the coin, you can see that the money has moved from your hand to this person's hand. Okay, so this is the advantage of Bitcoin over other cryptocurrencies that came before it. That is from 1980 to 2008. Okay, and the next thing is what we call distributed P2p network. Okay, so think of Bitcoin as a kind of network that has more than 100,000 computers that are being connected, and they are always online from 2009 up to 2021 January. They are online. So from 2009 to 2021, Bitcoin network is online. So any person can join the network. It's very simple. You just have your computer, just go to bitcoin.com, you download the software. After downloading the software, connect it to the internet, and then synchronize that particular application, and you are now part of the Bitcoin distributed network. It is as easy as that. And I want to assure you that Bitcoin has the largest network in the world. Largest network in the world, followed by Visa. Visa is the second largest, or should I say the largest processor of fiat transactions in the world, okay? So Bitcoin is more than Visa, like times 10 of it. So that's why when people talk about Bitcoin going offline and stuff like that, we can say that the only option, we know that nothing is impossible, but the possibility of Bitcoin going offline is the possibility of the internet, all the internet going offline at the same time. Because we have people in China, in America, in Africa, Nigeria, Uganda, South Africa, Brazil, United States, United Arab Emirates, Barcelona, Spain, and so on and so forth. So we have a lot of entities that have this particular network and they are being online. If this one is not online, these people are online. If this one are not online, these are online, okay? So this make it a distributed P2p network, okay? And then it is borderless. We say that fiat currency currencies are being issued, so making them, they are just, how will I say, they are just used within a certain territory. Let's say England only, or Nigeria only, or South Africa only with respect to Rand, Naira, Real, and so on and so forth. But talking about Bitcoin, it is borderless. I can send money, I can send value of Bitcoin, let's say, for example, 1 Bitcoin from Nigeria to Japan in less than 10 minutes, and I can send the same amount to USA in less than 10 minutes, and I can send it to different part of the world in less than 10 minutes without undergoing the due process of the bank. You know, the bank, you have to go there, you apply, you look for spot, and then if there is available spot, then your transfer will be scheduled. But this one is borderless. You can just send money without any due processes. And also it is extremely fast. The amount of time taken to send to Europe is the same thing to Africa, to America, to Australia, to Asia, and so on and so forth. So these are the features that makes cryptocurrencies to be ahead of fiat money. Okay, so now we narrow it down to Bitcoin being the pioneer of cryptocurrencies. So Bitcoin is the first cryptocurrency. So at least by now, you now understand the differences between Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, meaning Bitcoin is part of cryptocurrencies. And there are a lot of other cryptocurrencies, not only Bitcoin. Bitcoin is just the father. Think of Bitcoin as the father, okay, and the other ones as the sons or children of Bitcoin. So Ethereum, Litecoin, BTC, Bitcoin Cash, Ripple, Swipe, and so on and so forth, okay? So Bitcoin is transparent. What we mean by transparency when it comes to Bitcoin is that anything can be seen, that is, all the transactions can be seen. You can monitor all the transactions of all the addresses we have. Let's say, for example, this person sent this coin to this sent to this, you can just view it, everything on the network. And also it is scarce because we say that there are only 21 million Bitcoin that can be produced. But do you know how many Naira can be produced, or how much Naira can be produced, or dollar, or euro, or real, or rand, or so on and so forth? We don't know. So Bitcoin is scarce, and also it is open source because Bitcoin is a software, and because one of the okay, and we say that because Bitcoin is a software that can be downloaded, to make it even, how should I say, to make it part of the core values of Bitcoin, that is money liberalization or freedom, they make it to be open source. What we mean by open source is that Bitcoin software can be downloaded and modified. Okay, meaning you can download it and you can create another cryptocurrency from that particular software. And also you can scrutinize it and see if there are any flaws, and if there are any improvement, you can improve it, and then you can create your own cryptocurrency. Okay, so that's what we mean by open source, meaning it is a free software. It's not software that you have to pay, like let's say, for example, Microsoft Word, Office, Microsoft Word suitcases, and the rest, Photoshop, and so on and so forth. Okay, and also it is censorship resistant, meaning since we say that it is not controlled by any government, it means that you have control of your money. Because I don't even need a phone to operate, or should I say to access my money. I can just memorize, there are some just 12 words that if I memorize it in alphabetical order, anytime I see a computer or phone, I can just put that particular numbers and then I can access my money anywhere in the world. So even if there is phone in my hand, I can use it. Even if there is no phone, if I go to any place, if someone can borrow me that particular phone and the phone is connected to the internet, I can just access my bank or my money and I can use it. And then after that, I can just delete and continue. Okay, so it is censorship resistant, meaning the government cannot seize your money and so on and so forth. But you know, there are limits to all these particular theoretical aspect of Bitcoin. Okay, so this is the future of cryptocurrency in general, and this one is that of Bitcoin in general. Okay, so Bitcoin is the first cryptocurrency. I believe this one you get it. So all the features of cryptocurrency that is protected by cryptography cannot be duplicated. It has a distributed network and borderless. Bitcoin has it. If you pick Ethereum, Ethereum has it. If you pick Litecoin, Litecoin has it. If you think of Ripple, and so on and so forth. Okay, so this is cryptocurrency, and this one is just Bitcoin in particular. Okay, so as I stated earlier, we said that most of the people that created digital money before Bitcoin were either being charged with treason, felony, international felony, and so on and so forth. Okay, if you are in Nigeria, think of Biafra. Think of Biafra. That is people agitating for a free state within Nigeria. So the government are trying to make it, how will I say, to prevent them from creating the state. So think of any person creating any digital money as that particular instance. I'm not against or pro Biafra, but I'm just citing an example. Okay, so whenever someone creates a money, he's just like he's fighting with the states, he's fighting with the government. So that's why most of the people are being prisoned and some of them were being killed. So the person that created Bitcoin, he just created it under the mask, meaning his identity is unknown. Okay, but what he tried to solve is the issue of the solution to double spending. This is one of the major things that is the issue of double spending. And Bitcoin was launched after the world financial crisis of 2008. Okay. Or people or identity or corporation or whatever is called Satoshi Nakamoto. Some to Chinese, okay, but some forensic evidences are pointing to European countries and so on and so forth. Okay, so the name is not important. But Bitcoin, which is freedom of money. Freedom of money. This is the core value of Bitcoin. So whenever someone is telling you that you have to recruit people under people before you can get paid, this is not cryptocurrency. The basic core value of Bitcoin is freedom of money, whereby you have the powers of creating money the powers of saving money, and the powers of sending money all by yourself. Okay, so another term that we need to talk about is blockchain. Since now we understand what is cryptocurrency, and then we understand what is Bitcoin, which is the first cryptocurrency, we need to understand what is blockchain. Since we say that Bitcoin is being made up of P2p network, that is distributed network, that is computer here, computer here, computer here, computer here, computer here, computer here, computer here. And these computers are connected like this. They are just connected like this, like this. Any node can communicate to any node without any interference, like this. Okay, so this is what we call distributed network. Even if this particular guy is offline. Okay, so for the benefit of those that were with us before the class, that is before the first 40 minutes, if there are any suggestions, if there are any questions or feedback, maybe before the first 5 minutes, maybe you can just go through it before the remaining guys join us. So I would like to have your opinion, your ideas, your feedbacks before we continue. Okay, so let's give them some few minutes, maybe 1 or 2, and then we pick up from where we start.
Hello, Kenzie. It seems you have a question earlier on. Am I mistaken? There is someone that has a question that has been asking in the chat box. Someone, I think, is it Kenzie?
I think these guys are having difficulties joining us. Maybe you can, let me just share the link with them again. Okay. Let me talk to them. Okay. So I'll be sharing my screen with you and we can continue with the presentation. Okay. So before the class went off, or should I say before our first session, we were talking about, we are trying to explain what blockchain is. We say that we know that Bitcoin is all about networks of computers, okay, that are distributedly joined together. That is at different locations, okay? So these particular computers, they have records of all the transactions that happened from 2009, that is from the days of Satoshi Nakamoto to today. That is 16 January 2021. Each computer on the network has this particular record. So these records that are being stored with all these computers that are being connected to the Bitcoin network, they are called blockchain. So it is a very simple terminology. This blockchain is just a record, just like your own diary. Zan je kasuwa in saya kaza kaza. So you keep it. Wane yana bina bashi, you keep it. Wane yana bina bashi, you keep it. And then you make all the copies. Let's say you make a copy, you give your wife, you make a copy, you give your first born, second born, third born, up to the last born. Okay, so and whenever you wanted to add something, you will call them, okay, today I want to buy a new car. So write it, all of you. Okay, I don't want to buy a new car again, cancel it. So they will all cancel it. So this is exactly the work of blockchain. So blockchain is the backbone of any cryptocurrency project. That is, without blockchain, there is no cryptocurrency, because the major advantage of blockchain is to support the cryptocurrency. That is, to record all the financial transactions or all the movement that occurred within the network. this person has sent this coin, this person has received this coin, this person has spent this coin, this person has sent this. So this is exactly the record you will find inside a blockchain. So it's simply a database that is being distributed across the Bitcoin network. You will find it here, you 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 find it here, find it here. So this is exactly what blockchain is all about. It's just a record. Database and record, they are just the same thing. The address of the receipt, the record of the amount I'm sending, and the record of the wallet that is receiving the money. That's all. So blockchain is just a distributed database, a database that you can find at many computers that are connected to the internet. That is to the blockchain network, sorry. Okay, so it says that blockchain can be applied in money, it can be applied when it comes to document or any sort of digital data, and then it is tamper-proof system. When you talk about money, think of an instance whereby you can just go to Zenith Bank. I say, okay, I want to see all the transaction of Zenith Bank. You know, definitely you can never have it. But think of Bitcoin as that. You can just download the Bitcoin network and you can see all the transaction from the days of Satoshi Nakamoto. That's why sometimes you'll see that a transaction has been made from this. You'll see notifications on Twitter. So there are being wallets, there are wallets that are being monitored. There are accounts that are being monitored. And then in documents can be stored on blockchain. Uganda was the first country to utilize blockchain when it comes to record keeping. That is in terms of land ownership. So you know that blockchains are tamper-proof because you cannot edit it without the agreement of the whole network, or at least 51% of the whole network, before you can change anything. And since we say that it is a distributed network, some people, you don't even know the persons. So this one is in Europe, this one is in Asia, this one is in Australia, this one is in Africa, this one is in United States, this one is in Southern America, and so on and so forth. Okay, so this makes the document to be, how will I say, the documents to be valid and the information to be valid because you cannot alter it. And any other forms of data can be stored. Think of invoices, companies whereby they are issuing invoices, they can issue that particular invoice on the blockchain network, meaning anything that has been issued can never be reversed, but it can only be, how will I say, edited. Like for example, you can just reference, let's say, invoice A and invoice B. Invoice A is the first invoice, and then there is mistake. You can't edit invoice A, but you can create.
We are not sharing you.
Seriously?
Hello, please.
Why not seeing your screen?
You're not seeing my screen.
Okay, so I think they have maybe network error, or maybe from their on end, because I think everyone can hear. Sorry, please.
Okay, let me come back again and then.
Amiru Lawan, can you please turn off your video? Amiru Rawal Balarabe, turn off your video. Nephew, oh, I don't know how I can help you guys.
Okay, sorry. Uh, the file is actually with.
I think let me help Amiru Rawal Bello and Nephew. I think their audio is off.
Okay. So as we are talking about okay, so we are talking about Bitcoin with respect to tamper-proof system, meaning someone from outside cannot come and interfere with it, okay, unless with the consensus, unless with the agreement of more than 51% of the players. And since the players are distributed, and since the network is anonymous, I don't know you, you don't know me, he don't know, so this makes it tamper-proof. Okay, so in summary, we say that a blockchain is simply a distributed database or a chain of linked blocks, meaning each block, let me bring out, sorry. Okay, so it's simply, the block is just something like this. Let's say, for example, name, what should I say? Sender account number, receiver account number, and then we have the value that is being sent. So this is exactly what you find inside these blocks. Sender, account number, receiver, account number, and the value, okay? And then if another transaction has occurred, that transaction will be placed in the system like this, like this, like this, okay? And then it will be connected like this. And then if there is another transaction on the chain, that is on the BTC network, it will be like this again, like this, like this. So all the information, the sender's account number, the receiver's account number, and the value of Bitcoin, let's say 1 BTC here, 2 BTC here, this one 4 BTC, and so on and so forth. Okay, so this is where the name comes from. These ones are called blocks of information. So for short, we call them block. And then this chain that you are seeing here that is connecting them is the chain. So this is where the name block chain comes from, meaning block of information that are connected together, meaning this cannot be valid without actually this one being valid. And this cannot be valid without actually this data be valid. And the same thing until the first chain that has been created by Satoshi Nakamoto. So all of them are connected by a chain, meaning one data cannot be valid without actual input. One is the input of one. So more or less, the explanation of blockchain is more about engine. So someone who all the in-depth about it, but actually you can know there is engine oil, there is plugs, and so on and so forth. So the basic idea about blockchain is simply blocks of information that are being joined together. So this is okay. So continuation about blockchain, we say that since when you study the white paper, that is the book or the presentation that is being performed by Satoshi Nakamoto himself, or the document that's been created by Satoshi Nakamoto himself about Bitcoin, the first thing he talked about was the issue of banks, meaning a lot of trust is being put into the banks. For you to send value from Mr. A to Mr. B, the banks has to be there. meaning you have to trust your banks with that particular money. 1 million, it will pass through the bank and then it will be sent to this particular person, Mr. B. So the item of trust is being placed with the banks. So we want to replace the banks, because if you study the financial, we see that the banks, the investment houses, they are the ones that their action led to the financial crisis of 2008. If you need a more clarification about what happened before Bitcoin was created, there is, or job, if I can remember, inside job. Okay, it will give you all the ideas about how financial markets or financial investors, how banks recklessness led to the financial crisis, where people are losing their money. Okay, so in fact, it was at that particular to introduce the idea of Bitcoin. Okay, so since we said that we are replacing the banks, then how can we replace the bank? They say the participants don't need to trust each other. Everyone keeps track of balances and transactions. What happens if someone tries to cheat the system? Okay, so if, let's say, for example, this particular note has sent 10 Bitcoin to this guy, and then he's trying to send another different transaction, let's say 100 BTC here, meaning he's trying to send two almost similar but different information, like the same information but from different distance. For example, this one he's sending 10 Bitcoin, and this one is sending from that particular 10 Bitcoin, he's sending 4 Bitcoin out of it. So like he's trying to double spend the same amount of Bitcoin. Okay, so what the network will do is just to reject this particular node. They will reject this particular node. Okay, because the consensus is based on, or the agreement is based on the longest chain. That is, the confirmation will only be done, this particular distance will only be added into the network if there is highest number of confirmation is on it, meaning the highest number of confirmation is on that particular information. So since this particular thing will be rejected, so definitely the percentage will be lower, and then it will be rejected by the network. And then the one with the higher network, that is, for example, if this one is the one that has been accepted by the network, so it will reject this one automatically. And if this one is the one being accepted, then this one will be automatically rejected. Okay, so this is how cheat is being eliminated in the system. Meaning once a transaction is being propagated, so the other one will definitely be invalidated, because the output of this one will determine what will be the remaining balance inside this particular account. So since this particular account has been reduced by $10, maybe what is left is $1. So the moment the software checked and there is only $1, and now he's trying to send 4 BTC, it will just cancel this particular transaction, and this transaction will no longer be valid in the network, that is in the Bitcoin network. So in summary, this is just a comparison between Bitcoin and blockchain. Okay, so Bitcoin is a currency, it's money. You can buy something with it. Since we say that money is a shared value, money is just something that you give in exchange for another, okay, exchange of value. So Bitcoin is currency, whereas blockchain is a database. It's just like a bunch of files that is online. Just think of blockchain as files that are online, and think of Bitcoin as money that is online. So do you see there is a lot of difference between them? This one is money, and this one is information. So this one is tradable, meaning you can buy it, you can sell it, you can store it, you can pay for. So there are a lot of things you can do. It is tradable. While this one is just records information. So this one is just entry. Just like, for, in the office, when you come in, you sign out. Okay, we have this file moved to this particular office, this one came back. So this one is just a ledger. It's just a record of information. So you can record information on blockchain. Okay, so Bitcoin is the first and most popular cryptocurrency. You know, normally, whenever there is a new idea, the first person to create that idea, most of the times he will be the frontier, and he will be the breadwinner of that particular idea. Okay, so Bitcoin is the first and the most popular because it was successful. Okay, and for the blockchain, any digital data can be stored in the blockchain, and then computer software. It's a computer software and it is an open source code, meaning it is a free software that you can download it and then you can modify it, because we have what you call Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin Diamond, Bitcoin this, Bitcoin that. All of them, they are being created out of the Bitcoin itself. We have softwares like Dash, we have softwares like Byte, we have softwares like Bitcoin cryptocurrencies like Byte, like Beam, and the rest, which are exact replica of Bitcoin, but they try to improve maybe the speed, maybe the security, and so on and so forth. But they are just a replica of the Bitcoin software. If you open the Bitcoin software side by side and you try the codes, you see that they are almost instant, maybe almost the same, maybe 95% the same or 90% the same. They just changed the 10% and then they created their own software. That is to tell you that Bitcoin is all about money freedom. It's not all about using powers on you. No, it's about liberating the people from the shackles of the government. And then this one is public and decentralized. The word decentralization meaning there is no central body that is controlling it. There is no central body that is controlling it, because if you talk about Central Bank of Nigeria, it is the bank that controls the production of money, let's say, for example, at the simplest term. Okay, so for Bitcoin, it is decentralized, because if I have my computer and internet, I can connect to the Bitcoin network and then I can start mining my own Bitcoin. And you too, you can start mining your own Bitcoin, and he can mine his own Bitcoin. Okay, so this make it decentralized. But I don't think if there is any person that can print money apart from the Central Bank of Nigeria. So it's more or less like the powers of producing money is centered with the central bank. But in Bitcoin, the powers is decentralized, is distributed across the people. Okay, so the blockchain has different use cases here. It has different use cases. And this one, various ways to build, especially if you are a developer, a software developer, you can just develop a lot of things. And then it is a digital ledger, meaning it is a digital book that stores information. So I believe by now you understand the differences that exist between Bitcoin, blockchain, and cryptocurrency. Okay, so we now understand that, let's say, for example, this is cryptocurrency, the whole world, and then Bitcoin is the first, number one, Bitcoin. Okay, and for Bitcoin to run successfully, it needs blockchain. The second cryptocurrency is Ethereum. It also needs its own blockchain. Kowane cryptocurrency yana da blockchain nashi. Number third, we have Litecoin. It also needs its own blockchain. So everything is inside cryptocurrency. Dukansu suna cikin cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency ba wai wani abu ne daban ba. A'a, it is just the idea of producing digital money. Shine cryptocurrency din. The idea of producing digital money is the cryptocurrency. And the first digital money is Bitcoin. The second is Ethereum. The third is Litecoin. We have some Bitcoin Cash and the rest and the rest. So now we have more than 5,000 of them. In fact, even you yourself, you can create your cryptocurrency. The only thing is that you need a use case. You need a real life application of this particular coin before people can start using it. But anyone can produce a coin. So do not be misguided by the fact that Inks Nation was there. We are waiting for the blockchain. We are waiting for it to reach 80 million before you can know. Even I, in my own house, I can create my own coin and then I can release it to the world and people can buy it. I don't know, maybe you know of Adamu Ahmad. He is a member of our group. Okay? And also Engineer Mambala, he's also this thing. So they have created their own cryptocurrency and in fact, it is trading right now. Okay, so it's not something that someone will just brainwash yourself and telling you that this one we are just waiting for blockchain. This one we are just waiting. No, 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 no. The idea about cryptocurrency is very simple. It's all about money freedom. Okay, so that being said, we move to the next. That is, what is the difference between Bitcoin versus the local money? That is, when I say local, I don't mean it is not original. I mean our own traditional money, our own fiat money. Okay, so the first one, we say that fiat money is centralized, meaning the body that is producing the money is only one person or only one body. Whereas for Bitcoin, all the networks can produce money, meaning they can mine their own Bitcoin. They can mine their own Bitcoin. That's why you can hear the word miners. We talk about it later. Okay, so this one is controlled by government, and this one, it is peer-to-peer, that is person to person, meaning between me and you. That is the meaning of P2P, person to person. That is, we don't need a central body that will control the movement of the money. And this one is scarce. Then this one is not scarce, meaning there is only the supply of Bitcoin. Sorry, let us add these two together. That is scarcity. Okay, so government can just print money out of nowhere. They can just print the money out of nowhere. Like last year, there are a lot of print out, a lot of bailed out, a lot of stimulus, a lot of palliatives, and so on and so forth. And the money was just created out of nothing. Despite that the economy was poor, but government kept producing money. And in terms of Bitcoin, the value, or should I say the scarcity, is even increasing, because after each and every 4 years, there's what we call halving. That is, the amount of Bitcoin that can be produced is being reduced. That is, the rate of production is being reduced. So if government are printing 2 trillion and they are trying to increase it, Bitcoin is now decreasing in terms of number of Bitcoin that can be produced by per day, because the miners are producing the Bitcoin. So once the supply reaches 21 million, that will be the only Bitcoin that we can have. And then in terms of fiat money, we can keep producing and producing and producing and producing till inflation has overtaken our community. Okay. Another thing is that fiat money is, there is chargebacks. For example, if you are familiar with PayPal, you can make transaction and someone will just lodge a complaint and that money will be charged back. Okay. But in terms of Bitcoin, it is irreversible. Once it is sent, it is sent. There is no reversal. So it is fast and cheap. Compared to traditional money, Bitcoin is fast. Okay, especially when it comes to international payment or across the border payment. And also it is cheap when it talks about remittance and also e-commerce. Okay, it is very cheap. And also it is censor resistant. And for the fiat money, it is inefficient because there are lapses. Whenever we offer a change, we have to pinpoint what are the weaknesses and then why the change. So this is the change and this is the weakness. So these are the weaknesses of the fiat money and this is the change that Bitcoin is trying to bring. Okay, the same thing, when fiat money came into existence, there are a lot of weaknesses in the dollar, in the gold, in the coins, in the cowries, and so on and so forth. Okay, so anywhere in the world, for you to bring a change, you have to itemize the weakness of the old system, and then you have to show the strength of the new system. So this is the strength of the new system, and this is the weakness of the old system. Okay, so this one is just a practical illustration of the banking system and also the advantages of Bitcoin over the traditional banks. So for example, Alice want to send $200, let's say from Nigeria to South Africa. Okay, so she will go to a bank. Let's say, for example, she'll go to Zenith Bank, and then she will say, I want to do an international transfer. And they will look for a slot. Is there any slot for international transfer? Okay, if there is a slot, she will fill it. If there is no slot, they will ask her to, okay, because I can remember there was a time we want to do international transfer and we went to First Bank. In fact, we couldn't get it on other banks. Okay, so we were sent to First Bank. We went to First Bank and they told us there is no slot available. Okay, because they only have one slot for international transfer and so on and so forth. Okay, so let's say, for example, you are able to get that particular slot, and then you finish all the fillings and everything. Okay, so normally the processing times is around 3 days. Okay, so compare it with Bitcoin that is around 10 minutes to 1 hour at most. This, we are not talking about other cryptocurrencies, because other cryptocurrencies are less than 5 seconds. Okay, we are just talking about the further itself, that is the Bitcoin. We are not talking about other cryptocurrencies. Okay, so there is 7% charges, and then there is delay in terms of the processing. I believe most of you, if you are conversant with international payments, especially if you have merchants and students that are studying in India, China, Ukraine, and so on and so forth, you will experience this particular thing that I'm telling you. Okay, so, and this is how much money is being made out of the people. That is 70% of 689 billion is around $48 billion. So just do 48 times 500. Okay, so this is in terms of Naira, if you want to convert it to Naira. So you see how the fiat currency is charging more. And this particular one is a practical example when it comes to blockchain transfer. Okay, so Alice wants to send $200 worth of Bitcoin, and then he used blockchain, and then he was charged approximately $1, and then Bob received $199. So the charges is roughly 0.5%, which is $1. Okay, and the processing time is from 30 to 90 minutes. Okay, so I believe between these, the bank transfer, which charges 14 Naira out of 200, and Bitcoin that charges $1 out of $200, I believe you will agree with me that Bitcoin is by far the most superior technology over the traditional banks. So that's why most of the times when people talk about Bitcoin as only for making money, people tend to make a lot of mistakes. No, we use Bitcoin for almost a lot of things. That is blockchain for almost a lot of things. It's not all about making, trading and buying and selling and making profit. No, there are a lot of things that even the banks can apply it to their own system so that they can boost their own systems. Okay, so they said that, did you know that on January 16th, someone paid just $0.49 in fees to move over $1 billion? That is over 500 billion Naira in Nigeria. Just, let's say 300 Naira, just 300 Naira. Just 300 Naira. Think of it, if you will pay 7%. If you will pay 7%, so you have to pay like around $7,000 or $70,000 or something like that, which I believe some of you have never seen that particular money before. Okay, so this is why we are advocating for blockchain. It's not about MMM. It's not about Inks Nation. It's not about Zafont. Okay, it's about the whole idea, the holistic idea of cryptocurrency. Okay, so the next thing to talk about, that is the wallet. Wallet. Since we said that Bitcoin is more or less like your own personal bank. Personal bank. So we know that definitely a bank or someone needs where he can store his coins, since the coins are not visible. So where can I store my coins, my Bitcoin? Okay, so a wallet is simply a tool or a software that allows you to store, send, and receive since we are talking about Bitcoin, let us use Bitcoin that allows you to store, to send, and to receive Bitcoin. This is a wallet, a software or platform or a tool that allows you to store, to send, and to receive a cryptocurrency or Bitcoin or Ethereum or any coin. Okay, so in the earlier days, most of the softwares are just standalone softwares. Like maybe if you download Bitcoin's wallet, it can store only Bitcoin. It can send only Bitcoin. It can receive only Bitcoin. But as time goes on, we started having multiple wallets, whereby wallets, a single wallet, but you can store different cryptocurrencies up to 200, 300, 1,000, and so on and so forth. Okay, so now we are using multiple wallets. Okay, so coming about the division of wallets, we basically have 3 divisions. Okay, the first one is the software. Okay, so under the software, we have what you call the web wallet. That is whereby you go to, let's say, for example, www.bitcoin.com/wallet, or maybe you go to Coinbase and then you deposit your coins there. And then we have desktop. A desktop wallet is an application that you download, which gives you the access or the ability to send, store, and receive a particular cryptocurrency. Okay, and then we have the mobile wallet. Binance is an example of a wallet. It is also an example of a crypto exchange. Okay, so there is a wallet section in Bitcoin, in Binance application. So, but we have other mobile wallets, like for example, Trust Wallet, and so on and so forth, MetaMask, Jax, and the rest. Okay, so these ones, they are applications. So both the desktop and the mobile wallets are applications, whereas this one, the web wallet, is more or less like a web program, or should I say a website, whereby you can go in, you log in, and then you send, receive, or store your cryptocurrency. And then the other one is the hardware. That is, the hardware wallet is normally physical. It's just like your flash drive. Look at it here.
Sorry for interruption, sir.
Yes, sir.
The class will be ending in less than a minute, and if the class ends, I want you to click on the previous link so that we can continue the class. Thank you. All right, thank you for coming back.
Okay, welcome back. As we stated earlier, we give them the benefit of maybe 2 or 3 minutes so that they can join us back again.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I believe you guys are jotting the things, because if you think of it as just to just listen and go away, believe me, you will end up with nothing after this presentation, because it's not a theoretical something. So you have to write it down, you jot it down, and most of my students, most of the people that we liaise and learn with, most of them, I always advise them to use a book, maybe your own jotter, your own diary, or your own computer to jot your own information, because when someone is talking about it, you can just be carried away with excitement, and you may think that you've understood everything. And after the class, you will try to explain it to someone and just feel like it is just empty. So that's why you need to jot down, or maybe you need to be drafting your own notes. I don't know, whichever one is easier for you, and the materials will be available so that anyone that wants to read it at his own leisure time will find it very important. Okay, so I think we are good to go, sir.
Okay. Carry on, sir.
Okay. Only the host can share in this meeting. I think I'm not, you haven't given me the host right, so I'm still waiting. Hello, Mr. Sagir. Mr. Sagir. Okay, maybe he's having difficulty with his own network.
Hello, sir.
You haven't given me the host right, so I can't share my screen with them.
Okay, sorry, sir. Na je na nima wannan nawa ne. Launch, sorry, sir.
Okay, so please give me the admin right so that.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so thank you very much.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sorry for the little delay. Okay, so where's the presentation? Okay, so we were talking about wallets, and we say that wallets are just tools that allows us to send, to receive, and then to store cryptocurrencies. Okay, so any tool that allows you to do this is called a wallet. And we say that the simple example for those people that are just entering Bitcoin, more or less like Luno, like Roku, like a Remitano and stuff like that. Okay, so these websites or these applications or these softwares, they give you access to store Bitcoin or Ethereum or Litecoin or Ripple and so on and so forth. Okay, so we say that in the early days, we only have standalone softwares. Like a software can only give you access to just store one or a basic cryptocurrency, let's say Bitcoin only or Ethereum only or Litecoin only. Okay, and then later, we now have multiple wallets. That is whereby you can store multiple cryptocurrencies, different cryptocurrencies under one single software. Okay, and we say that under the software aspect, because this is the first one, since we say we have three main groups. Sorry, just a minute. Hardware wallets are more or less like your normal flash drive that you use, okay? But what distinguishes it from your normal hard drive, or should I, what do you call it? That particular thing that you, flash drive, sorry, flash drive. Okay, what distinguishes it is that this particular one, it has some code that can be generated on it. So meaning that it is also a software on its own, like you can integrate it, like you can work on it also, meaning that there are some functions on that particular flash drive, not like the ordinary one that you can just plug it and then everything. No, you can even see some, just like your OTP. wannan OTP da ake bada shi aka banki in ka je dinnan, just like that. Okay, so you can just, it will just do all the necessary and the basic work for you. Okay, all you can do is just to store it in a secure place. Okay, that's just it. And then the last one is the paper wallet. The paper wallet is simply, as the name implies, your own information will be printed in like a QR code. You know, QR code, just something like this, just something like this. Okay, and whenever you want to input all your information, okay, you can just scan this particular QR code, and everything, the information, the amount, and all the things will be transferred online, and then you can use it. Okay, another important thing to note about is that we have hot wallet and then we have cold wallet. Hot wallet is a wallet that is connected online. Okay, and the cool wallet is the one that is not connected online, meaning you can just plug and remove. But this one is more or less always online, while this one, it can access the internet, but it can be stored outside the internet, meaning you can just, once you are done with it, you can just remove it. So it is more secure than this particular one. So example is the Nano X. There is Nano X, and there is Nano Pro, Nano something like that. Okay, just search it online, Nano X, and then you can see different kind of them. Okay, since we said that blockchain can be used in different this thing, that is, it has a lot of use cases, meaning lot of real life application. For example, we say in terms of remittance, supply chain, healthcare, charity, decentralized finance, meaning DeFi, DApps, that is decentralized applications, gaming, governance, identity management, IoT, Internet of Things. So all these things, we can use blockchain to improve them. So we cited some examples on how to use it using remittance. We said that remittance is all about worldwide transfer of money, and it is the largest flow of funds into developing countries like Nigeria. You know, you have your brother in America, he will send you money. Your brother in China, he will send you money. In India, and so on and so forth. You are working for companies in America, Fiverr, Upwork, and rest and things like that. Okay, they will pay you, and the money have to pass, and then it will reach you here. Okay, and it is one of the fastest growing industry in the world, plus 9.6% in 2018, meaning that it is growing very fast. Okay, so how does it work, or how can it work in the remittance industry? Okay, number one, we say that less intermediaries. We know that third-party people, for example, when we talk about our basic economics, we said from producer, wholesaler, retailer, and then to the final consumer, or to the consumer and then to the final consumer. So if this one charges $20, this one will add something $25, this one will add something $30, and then this one will add, and then maybe he will sell it around 50, for example. Okay, but because of remittance, because of blockchain, all these people will be removed from the system. Okay, and it will be replaced with blockchain. So everything can be transferred from the producer, let's say, to the final consumer. And then the fees also will be reduced in terms of these people, because instead of them to add it, the final consumer can have a direct rapport with the producer. So the fees is being reduced, or maybe the money can just be sent from your wallet to the receiver's wallet without actually passing through a bank, whereby the bank will charge you exorbitant amount, and then before the money will be remitted. And also the fees are very low, and the transactions are very faster. Okay, then another thing is the supply chain. Sorry, this one is all about sending money and receiving money. So that's all about remittance. So as we discussed in our previous slide, and then for this particular case, this is what I'm trying to explain actually. okay? Like in the supply chain, that is a network of people and business creating and distributing product or services. This is what I was trying to explain in the other slide, okay? So with the integration of blockchain, all the records, all the data, and everything is being secured, and also it is transparent, meaning anyone can look at it. That is, I'm talking about if it is a public blockchain. But if it is a private chain, only those people that are being given the opportunity to see it can see it, because we have public chain and then we have private chain. Bitcoin is a public chain. Anyone in the world can download, can look at it, can analyze and everything. And when we talk about supply chain, when we talk about private blockchain, we are talking about, let's say, for example, Dangote, or maybe McDonald's, for example. Okay, so if they integrate blockchain into their own supply chain, so the top directors, the managers, the line managers, and everyone can have access to all the data for the analysis, for everything. They can know what is happening, what has happened, where is the lapses, and so on and so forth. So with that, it can dictate frauds, and also it can eliminate any fraud in the system, and also it reduces the cost, because instead of a person to overlook these particular processes, the software can overlook it by itself, and it is customizable, meaning you can edit it to your own style. If your business is shipping line, for example, if your business is groceries, if your business is clothing, and so on and so forth, you can integrate it. Okay, and when it comes to healthcare, okay, we have the traditional method and then we have the blockchain way. So the traditional method, if you go to the hospitals, you see a lot of files, and then maybe with one computer, and then you ask and they will start searching, okay? And then once that particular database is being hacked, everything can be deleted, can be modified, and stuff like that. And also, there is no transparency in it, and it is prone to medical insurance fraud, since information can be manipulated. You've insured against a particular disease, and your company, or maybe the server was hacked, or the database was hacked and it was deleted, and then, or maybe modified and say that you did not insure for this particular, and so on and so forth. Okay, and the record, is this final say. So everything will be there, and then you will lose all your funds. Okay, but with blockchain, is the opposite of this. The record can be stored and can be shared, and also it is permission-based management, meaning only those people that are permission to view a certain part of it. For example, the hospital staff can view maybe those number of patients in the wards, what are their problems, what is the medical record, and so on and so forth, so that before he can give any medications, he can know exactly where the process has stopped. And the patient can look at his own history, or maybe his own bookings with the next doctor, or and so on and so forth, or maybe his medications, and also why he's given these medications and the rest. And also the database of records, or let's say, for example, the researches of doctors can be shared. Let's say, for example, like this COVID-19, if America has done their own research, they can share it across the blockchain without anything, because right now I can design something, edit it, and send it, and then I will use the original copy, which is correct, and then I will send the wrong one. So, but with blockchain, the same information that America is using will be the same information that will be sent to the other country. So making the data to be highly integrable and also easy to exchange. That is the meaning of the interoperability, meaning the data can be exchanged with one another. So this is why we are advocating for blockchain, meaning that it can be used in remittances, that is in banks, in supply chain, meaning in industries, in healthcare, meaning in our hospitals, okay, and also DeFi, that is decentralized finances, okay? So decentralized finances is all about those activities that are being done by the banks. We are now putting it on the network, that is on the blockchain network. So the first one is the DEX. DEX stands for Decentralized Exchange. Decentralized Exchange. Okay, and then we have Centralized Exchange. What is the difference between the two? Centralized exchange, we have those people controlling your passwords, and they help you when you lose your password and so on and so forth. For example, Binance, if you lose your password, they will help you, and then they will recover the password for you. Okay, but when you're talking about decentralized exchanges, like for example, Binance has a decentralized exchange. If I can remember, Binance.dex, if I can remember, or something like that. Okay, so when you go there, there is no username, no password. You just download some keys and then your password, and then you store it, and that's all. If you lose your password, you lose it forever. Okay, so that's what we call decentralized, the decentralized exchange. And then we have lending and borrowing. All these can be done uh, using DeFi, that is decentralized finances. So this is why decentralized finance is now making the boost, because most of the people, they are into lending and borrowing. Okay, think of the possibility whereby you have one Bitcoin and you don't know how to trade. You can just lend this Bitcoin to, let's say, for example, compound.com is a website, or compound.finance. Okay, and then they'll give you 10% or 20% or 30% at the end of the year, and your Bitcoin will be sent back again. Or maybe they'll give you 60% and then your Bitcoin will be sent back. Okay, and then they will charge those people that will borrow this money or this Bitcoin that you send. Okay, so it's more or less like a win-win situation to them. Though Islamically it is haram because there are some element of interest, and Islamically interest is haram, meaning it is prohibited. Okay, so some of the advantages of DeFi is that it gives us financial inclusion, meaning it gives us financial access, general access to financial services. That is, we have global access, and then we have no KYC, non-custodial, no KYC, meaning it's not like, for example, the decentralized exchange, they are not holding your username, your password, and everything. You have all the powers. They just provide you with the platform. Okay, the platform is just there. Just for example, let's say www.mahmoud.com. So when you go there, you can lend, you can borrow, you can do everything. And if you miss your password, me, I don't have access to the password, and you don't know your password, or you forget your password, the funds are lost forever. Because they say with more power comes more responsibility. Since you now have full autonomy of your money, now you will bear the consequences of your act. And then liquidity. Meaning liquidity is simply the ability to convert an asset very quickly and without losing its own value. Let's say, for example, I have my iPhone 12 X Pro. Maybe it is $500 or 500,000, and I want to sell it, and I have like 10 buyers, and someone is willing to buy it at 495, someone 492, 490. So I can say that the market for iPhone 12X is liquid. Okay. Then what are the issues that is bugging the DeFi and also for the other aspect of cryptocurrency? The first one is the education. The knowledge of something, they tend to go against it. When you talk about Bitcoin, about cryptocurrency, someone will call you a scammer. Someone you say that you are a Yahoo, you are a fraudster, and so on and so forth, because he doesn't even know what is Bitcoin. He doesn't even know what is blockchain. He doesn't even know what are cryptocurrency and stuff like that. Okay. Another thing is that there is a scalability issue, because when people are coming into the crypto world, into the DeFi world, things are expanding. So the network for this particular DeFi, we are using Ethereum, not Bitcoin. Okay. We are being booked with high transaction fee. So this makes it very difficult to use. And also user experience, meaning there are a lot of mistakes. Someone will just send phone to another wrong address, or maybe incomplete address, or different token, or different network, and so on and so forth. And there is no standardization, meaning you can just create your own coin and the next day you just run away. We call it rug and pull. You know, rug and pull, when you wash your cloth, before you dry it on the line, you just rug it like this, and then you pull, and then you put it on the line. So they will just drain the money out of you, and then they will run away. Okay. And the last one is interoperability, meaning the ability of Mr. X network to communicate with Mr. Y's network. Because if your network cannot communicate with my own network, it means we can't work together. And if we can't work together, there can't be progress, because the teamwork makes the dream work. So if networks can connect, Bitcoin can connect with Ethereum, they can talk technically together, meaning I can send data and receive data between Ethereum and Bitcoin network, maybe over them, and then we can share information with them. So it will make it easy to use, and then it will usher a new way for development. And then talking about this presentation, I told you that it was sponsored by Binance, my community, which is a program. The program is over, sorry. So, but this material was being prepared by them. Okay, so that's why you see the Binance slide here. Okay, the reason why we are using Binance is because Binance, as we are talking right now, is the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange in terms of volume, in terms of technology, in terms of advancement, and so on and so forth. So if you are ranking the top exchanges in the world, let's say, for example, Binance will score 10 out of 10. Okay, let's say, for example, and other exchanges like Bithumb or maybe BitMEX and maybe Coinbase scoring maybe 9.5 or also 10. So this is the statistic. Okay, it went all the way from 0 to number 1 in less than 5 months. So it is highly secured, and also it is highly liquid, meaning you will see a lot of trading pairs and a lot of ability, or it gives you the ability to convert your money from Naira to Bitcoin and from Bitcoin to Naira effortlessly without any problem. Okay, so Binance is used across 180 plus countries, 40 plus team members, and then we have different languages. And this is the ecosystem, that is the general ecosystem of Binance. They have a lot of beautiful features that once you start crypto, you just see that all these presentations are just tip of the icebergs. Okay, so some of it, sorry. Okay, so trading on Binance is very simple. It's unlike those things that you are seeing, those investment programs that are promising you heaven on earth, like invest 10 Naira, you get 20 Naira, invest this, you get that. No, this one is entirely different. This one is entirely different, okay? Because it's all about trading, it's all about store of value, it's all about interacting with the disruptive technology, that is the technology of blockchain, and also interacting with other new technologies, because technologies are being coming out, or are coming out day in, day out, day in, day out. Okay, so tomorrow we talk about Binance, and then we talk about the basics of trading. This one is just an overview, because a lot of people are just jumping into trading without even actually knowing exactly what is blockchain, what is cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, altcoins, and so on and so forth. Okay, you just have your money in your pocket, and then you just read some 1 or 2 tweets, like someone will just say, buy this coin, I'm thinking that it will go this, and then you buy and the coin goes the other way around. Okay, this one is called gambling. It's just like you going to Las Vegas and then buying some poker chips and then going over, or stuff like that. Okay, so trading has
principles, it has guidelines, it has rules, and it has been in existence since 16th or the 17th century, and it is still valid, and we are still using it. And people are developing more and more tools and strategies. Okay, so it's not all about gambling with your money. It's about knowing when, where, and how. And you can never know it by just free pointing your money. No, you have to know the ins and the out of everything. So for those of you that are just joining the ecosystem, just go to your Play Store. After going to your Play Store, just search Binance. Okay, you can see the logo yellow and something like that. This is it, Binance, Bitcoin Marketplace, and Crypto Wallet. Then you download it, and after you download it, log in into it, just log in. Like in my own case, let me see, log out. Okay, so you can just log in, you sign up, you verify your email, something like this. Okay, let me use the register button. So you just click your email, you click your password, and then you start your registration. Referral ID is optional. If you wish, you can contact me, because if you register with a referral ID, you'll get 10% discount on your fees, that is transaction fees, because when you buy or sell, there is some percentage of fees that will be charged. It's very negligible, but 10% will still be added advantage to you. Okay, so just get ready, and then by tomorrow, we talk about trading and also a general overview of the Binance application. I believe this one is just an overview. By just attending to this class, that doesn't make you a professional. That doesn't make you master everything about trading, but it will give you an insight, and it will give you an added advantage over someone who has not attended something similar to this. Okay? I'm not advocating for my course. Any course that you think, that you believe will give you that particular knowledge, go for it. Whether free, whether premium, whether online, whether offline, whether local, whether international. If you think it is worth it, go for it. I have my own course and I believe in it. If there are any other course, go for it. And the main option or the main goal for all of us is to liberate the people. So thank you very much. And if there are questions from what we said in our previous discussions, that is from the first session to the last session, you can ask us, or you can ask me, sorry. So the class is open and you guys can ask your questions. You have like 10 minutes, please. You have like 10 minutes, please. So make your questions straightforward, please. Straightforward. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Fire on.
My name is Kabiru. I'm calling from Jada.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, I just enter right now, but I did not understand the previous topic you discussed. That is why I just call you to.
The class will be available. The YouTube video will be available, inshallah. YouTube video will be available, inshallah.
At where?
You hear, Kabiru?
Hello?
I said the videos will be available.
Assalamu alaikum.
Share the link with you guys.
Assalamu alaikum.
Share the link. I will share it on my profile on Facebook.
Yes.
I will share it on Iowa Crypto Forum, and I will share it on my premium group. So anyone who attend it will have link.
Assalamu alaikum. Okay, no problem.
Okay, Mr. Amiru, I'm with you.
Yeah, my name is Amir Lawal Balarabi, and I've really enjoyed this lecture. My question is, you made mention of how to personally one can even make his own coin. I don't know if it's in subsequent lectures that we would get to know how to do it.
Yeah, this one is an advanced course, okay, but it's not something very, how will I say, something very difficult per se.
Okay.
Okay. But the idea is not about you creating your coin. The idea is about driving a real life use for this particular coin.
Okay.
Okay. If the coin has no real life use, for example, Ethereum,
Yeah.
Ethereum is being used because of this particular DeFi, Ethereum
Okay.
is having a user case. But after that, we have what you call DApps, that is decentralized applications, whereby
Okay.
applications can be built on the Ethereum network. So these particular guys are making money from these applications. And by virtue of that, Ethereum network is even growing. And then we have the aspect that makes all these coins that we are seeing today, like Ripple. Ripple is making waves because Ripple is into international remittance, across the border payment, borderless payments. That's why Ripple, despite all the tech problems and this, Ripple is being used by institutional banks and investment houses. That's why, if not for that use cases, Ripple will have been dead way since 2017. But because all these banks are using it, they will convert their money to Ripple, they will send, and then they will receive, and then they will convert back to USDT. So this, or USD, this is how they do the remittance. You have your USD, you want to send it to America from Nigeria, they will convert it to Ripple, they will send it across the Ripple network, which is very cheap, just Ripple, which is around 3 naira, and then they will receive it in USA, and then they will automatically convert it to USD, and then they will give that particular guy. So the cost is less than $1. It's just 0.1 cent.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why the user case is more important than creating the token.
Okay, thank you very much. I understand.
Please, I have a question, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you very
Should
much
I
for
go on,
joining
sir?
us. Yes, sir.
Okay, please. Okay, I've been here since. So the thing is, I want to know what is the cost of your course and what's the username on Facebook. I want to follow you on Facebook, please.
Okay, my name is Mahmoud Sardauna, and my username, I believe, is El Samut, because I think since, okay, this is the picture. Sorry, someone has shared it. You can see it here. This is the picture. Okay, so it was actually the second class. In our first class, around November. We started around November, and then we finished it just some days back. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. So, and I believe. Yeah, I'm with you. Okay. So I believe there is value in the class because we gave a 30% discount, and also we also gave installmental payment. At least someone can just test it. If he's happy with the first 2 weeks of the course, he can go ahead and finish the payment. And if he's not happy, he can even request his money back, because this is a guarantee course. There is no scam in it. We are here for the people. And I believe, even if not because of the unseriousness of the people, 2019, I did 3 courses all through there. But because out of it, only 2 people, look at, for example, this particular course that we have. Out of the people that are blogging on Facebook, on WhatsApp, on Twitter, on Instagram, we are less than 15 people here.
Yeah, I noticed
So
that.
this is how. This is why we just have to opt in. People always give value to people, to things, when monetary value is being attached to it, and something like that.
Yes.
So the class is open. You can contact Muhammad Sagir, or you can contact me after the class. My number is on the this thing, as you can see on the screen, and also my phone number is also there. My WhatsApp is always available, and I will respond to your own question, inshallah.
Okay. So the cost is 15,000, as I can see.
Yeah, but
it's affordable. It's affordable.
Payment, and there is money back guarantee. Okay, so tomorrow we talk about the basics of trading, and I believe me, is being met on this particular ecosystem, but patience and knowledge is what will take you to that particular place. So thank you for coming, and thank you for attending and listening, and may Satoshi be with you. Thank you very much.
More Satoshi to your
Thank you.
Okay, after this meeting ends, link to the video will be shared, as well links to all social profile of Mahmoud Sardauna will be shared. If you would like to contact him for more insight, I think you can do that. Thank you for being with us.